we're starting now. Yeah. What's nice about this one is that you're also a big guy, so I've had small women on recently, and it's like when I edit those, it's literally like it's just like small person, and then it just pans over. It's just yeah, it's just huge me, just being like, and then what happened? Cool. Welcome everyone to an episode of Good Kid, Bad Parents. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is my new guest, Perry Benton, another stand-up comedian in the Atlanta scene, and happy to have him on. So I don't know if you've seen the podcast or anything like that, but we just kind of share stories of childhood, like, and just family and whatnot. And you can even go into how, like, your grandparents influence your parents, who influenced you, and whatnot. Share any stories that you normally can't share with other people, and also the never too dark. I love all of it.
Okay.
Let me go real quick. Actually, get my watch, and we're back like we never left. All right. But yeah. So, can you give us kind of a lay of the land of your family?
All right. So, a lot of misinformation
Okay.
floating around amongst the family.
Yeah.
My lot of stuff that I heard growing up turned out to not make any sense or be true.
How so?
My mom likes to say that we came over on the Mayflower.
Oh, like you were the first pilgrims.
Apparently, according to
Okay.
her, I don't think that's true at all.
Okay.
Also, but nobody cares to look into it or anything. I try to do the family tree
Yeah.
stuff, and I thought that I would just sign up and put my name in and stuff would pop up.
Yeah, no, it's like you gotta like go digging and connect stuff.
Yeah, so I tried to ask my grandpa what our like heritage was,
Uh-huh.
and he said, I don't know, I think my mom was like kind of Native American or something. I don't really know, and that's kind of all he said. I don't think that's true either. But so my mom always said we came over on the Mayflower. My grandpa always said that some kind of Native American, and other side
Wow,
of the family.
that's literally the pilgrims and the natives coming together.
It is, yes. We're the first Americans.
Wow.
Yeah, and then my other side of the family, they said, I don't know, I think our name is French or something, I don't really know. So,
I like how everybody just keeps going, I don't know, something or other, I don't know, man.
yeah, it's a lot of I don't knows. We did have a Civil War uniform.
Really? Which
Yeah.
color?
So, there's actually a book about one of my ancestors, and he like got lost on the battlefield, and he like found his way back home like months or years. Again, I don't know.
Whoa. What's the book called?
No clue. Again, my family has just said this.
Oh,
I've
they've said that.
Never
Okay.
gotten confirmation of anything. But apparently he like found his way home, like, and they thought he was dead or something, and they were like, it's a sweet romance story. And I found when we were moving a poster board of a project I did when I was a kid, and that we have like a picture from when my grandma owned the Civil War uniform, and because it was so old, it had turned blue. So I thought he was in the Union.
Oh.
Which makes absolutely no sense because my family's lived in Georgia apparently since the Mayflower arrived.
I don't even think that the Mayflower...
Listen, you're right. That the Mayflower didn't arrive in Georgia.
Yeah. They would have come over with Oglethorpe if they came from Britain to Georgia. Because that's only... Because...
No clue.
Yeah. Well, you could also check I think they have a list of like all the names from the Mayflower. I think. I'm sure they do.
Doubt we're on it.
Yeah.
But this over time, the Civil War uniform had been like sun faded or something, and it was kind of blue looking. And so I thought like he was in the Union.
Yeah.
And I showed someone the picture, and they were like, "That's a Confederate uniform, 100%." So.
You
That's
know,
nice. But they would. My family also likes to brag that like they were too poor to have slaves.
what a
So
brag.
they said we were actually the slaves because we were the ones doing the labor ourselves. So
I like how that's a brag of like we were too poor to have slaves. We tried.
yeah,
We went to the auction. We just couldn't.
we tried to save up for it.
Yeah, we just couldn't. And that's a brag.
Yeah, we were too poor for it.
So there was a story you wanted to mention about your grandpa just a second ago.
Yes, yes.
So what was this story?
Oh, so he was doing some manual labor for fun after he retired, and he was driving a dump truck, and it started raining, and he went to put a tarp over the dump truck, and he's like a little tiny guy, so the wind caught the tarp and blew him away, and he fell and broke both of his hips, and had to have two metal hips put in at like 80. And then he was doing some more side gigs for no reason. He was driving cars between dealerships, and the dealer came to hand him the keys and tackled him to the ground on accident because he tripped, and it broke both of his knees, so he had to have those replaced. So he was like on a walker and in a wheelchair, and my some kind of aunt had died from painkiller addiction.
Yeah.
And
Sorry. I'm still just laughing at just the thing of he's a little tiny guy.
he flew away on a tarp, and then, which is funny. And then he crashed to the ground, and his bones exploded.
It's just so. If I saw that, I'd be like, I can't help you, man. I'm laughing. So
Yeah.
I'm on the ground laughing.
Oh no, sorry. He fell down the stairs and broke both of his knees. The guy tackled him to the ground and broke his spine. At 80 something, he broke. A car dealer man tackled him to the ground and broke his spinal cord. So
He can't walk anymore.
he's dead. So he
Okay.
can't do much of anything really.
But when that happened, could he walk anymore or no?
He tried to. That's kind
Okay.
of what killed him.
Really?
Yeah, he was trying to get out of bed to go do something, and he fell, and then.
What
You
if
know.
it was just that there was a window open and the breeze caught his blanket and it pulled him out of the
pulled him
bed?
out and flew away again.
He just died. He's such
Oh
a
my
tiny
God.
guy.
Yeah, he but yeah, my great aunt something whatever was addicted to painkillers as you are, as not you, but
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
the
as one
colloquial,
does. Yeah.
as one does. And he was in a wheelchair, and they wheeled him into the funeral, and someone in our family apparently had massive breasts, and the first thing he said when they wheeled him into the funeral was, "Who's that broad with the giant tits?"
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's so sick.
Yeah.
I love that. And then you said they had to wheel him away.
Yeah, I think they turned him around like immediately because he was just talking about his family members' huge tits at his wife's younger sister's funeral.
Also, is that a woman he's related to, or is it like just a wife of
I don't
someone
know.
else?
Our family is really big. It's like a lot of like trailer trash.
How big would you say, like melon or orange sized family?
Like prize-winning pumpkins, I would say.
Damn. That's
Yeah.
That's so funny, dude. I have a story that's kind of similar. At one point, grandpas are kind of creepy guys, and my grandpa rips though, and I didn't realize how cool my grandpa was at this time. But when I was like 14 or something like that, maybe 13, I'm in Michigan visiting my grandpa and his wife at the time, my step grandma, and then
Step grandma.
yeah, you can have those. Yeah, I've had a step grandma. I've had a cousin-in-law. Once you get a new grandma, you get a bunch of uncles-in-law.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, you get a whole other family added on.
Nice.
And then my grandpa and the step grandma divorced, and he adopted her grandkids. So now my like, what would they be, cousins or yeah, I guess step cousins
Step cousins.
became my aunt and uncle. And they're like 13. Yeah.
So you have an aunt. You have aunt and uncle step cousins.
Yeah, they were cousins, step cousins.
Yeah.
And now they're aunt and uncle because he adopted them.
But do they maintain the step cousin status?
They still maintain, like, yeah, just like you can't upgrade in the family. You know what I mean? Like, once you enter in as cousins, you don't get to be my aunt and uncle who were like 15 years younger than me. You know?
Yeah. Do they treat you like a nephew?
They'll like, well, they're a little bit younger than my brother, who's like 20, 21. So
They're
probably
13.
like, they're this was a while ago when that happened.
Okay.
So they're probably like 18 now, you know? So they'll still talk with my brother and stuff like that. He was closer to them because they're the same age basically. But they would yeah, like eventually they were kids and they'd be like, "I'm your uncle now." And I'd be like, "Leave me alone. I will beat you up."
But did they do any like uncle stuff?
Yeah, they molested me. Yeah, no, my younger uncle.
Your 13-year-old uncle is watching you change.
Yeah. Licking his lips.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give me some of that. My uncle accidentally threw my little sister into a fire one time.
What?
We were camping and he was what do you call it? Fiddling.
Fiddling.
He was fiddling around with her, and she was 6 or something like that, maybe 8. I don't know, some age below 10, and we just got to the campsite, and I guess the fire was still hot, and
Yeah.
from the canoodling and fiddling.
The fire was still hot from the canoodling.
No. Nothing like that. But she slipped into the fire and got burnt up on her back.
Is it like permanent damage?
I think so. She might still have it.
Wow.
I don't know. She also dropped a chisel on her foot a couple weeks later. So that was cool.
Again, and how'd that happen? So she and the uncle were like just cuddling in the other room or whatever.
Yeah. They were doing some chisel play and
Yeah,
things got out of hand. We hacked ourselves up a lot. I ran headfirst into a nail when I was a kid.
On purpose or on accident?
No, on accident. My dad did like woodworking and stuff, and we would hang out in the shop and we would just like cut ourselves up on accident and
Yeah.
get beat up. I would like we'd be like, my dad made me like cut the grass with like a handsaw one time, and
Why?
I don't know. And I was pulling it towards me.
like a regular like non-powered handsaw.
Like a giant, like imagine like a knife that like flips out. It's like a giant one, but it's a saw that you use to cut like vines and stuff to like get to your fishing spot.
So he almost made you like scythe the grass basically?
No, I was having to. You know what? We put chairs down and went fishing. I don't know why the fucking grass needed to be cut at the campsite, but he made me do it, and I had flip-flops on.
This isn't even your house. This is just the campsite.
Yeah, this is a campsite. Not even the campsite. This is a fishing spot near the campsite that he wanted to clean up for some reason. This makes no sense, but this happened. He made me cut stuff up with it, and I had flip-flops on, and I was cutting it towards my foot, and I yanked it and just gashed my foot open.
Dude, my mom growing up, she just kind of let us loose the whole time, and we stored like everything in our half-finished basement.
Oh yeah.
Right? And there was loose light bulbs on the floor when you would walk in, like Home Alone style. And at one point, I walked down there barefoot, and the bulb had broken in the basement, so I needed to grab one of the bulbs from the ground to swap it out. And then I ended up walking over and like stepping on a light bulb and shattering it with my foot. And when I stepped on it, I didn't quite know what the sound of stepping on a light bulb sounded like or felt like.
You hadn't seen Home Alone yet?
I had, but those are, you know what I mean? Like I hadn't heard it with my own eyes.
That's Foley audio. It's not real life.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's Foley. You don't know. Like that's probably them like popping a balloon
Yeah.
and then like also dampening it with like some sheets
After
or
you
whatever.
stepped on the light bulb, did you go to turn on a sink and you turned into a skeleton from the power
Yeah.
of the electricity?
Yeah. And then when I tried to go back upstairs, like a paint can hit me in the
Yeah.
head.
A steel pipe
Yeah.
hit you in the face.
And then I fell down a big hole and I had to stack a bunch of
Yeah.
furniture up to get up it.
And then a 12-year-old threw bricks at your head and,
Yeah.
and you were fine.
Dude, it was crazy. And then a lady who controls pigeons scared me and threw birdseed on me.
And then you opened the door of the bathroom and there was a flamethrower that lit your
Yeah.
head on fire.
And that was just to check what had happened to my
Yeah.
foot.
Yeah.
But I like put my foot down, or I put my hand down and touched my foot, and when I pulled it back up, it was just blood.
Oh my
Just
God.
all over, and I just like immediately screamed. And the thing is that like I then had to hop on one foot upstairs to let anybody know what had just happened. And also this was like the carpet downstairs had just been finished, and so now I stepped on a bulb and exploded it.
And you got blood all over the carpet.
I got blood on the carpet. I got in trouble for that. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
You got in trouble?
Yeah, my mom was mad that there was blood on the carpet now.
She wasn't like, "Oh my God, are you okay?"
She was like, "Oh, let's fix this." And then later she was like, "You got blood on the carpet. You have to go down and clean it."
Oh, that's bad.
Yeah. So I had to go like,
Mean.
yeah. Yeah, my mom's a mean lady.
How old were you?
8.
Oh my God.
I don't know, 9 maybe. I don't know. Does that make it better? If I was 9, does that make it better?
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
Did she hit you too?
No, but it was like I then did, the thing is that did teach me to store light bulbs better, and so I put them in the laundry room.
Nice.
Yeah. I wish those people would leave. I know that this is an open space and that they're on the street, but I also do want them to leave, and that
Of
the
course.
audio won't really pick them up much. It'll
You can denoise it too.
Oh yeah, it already is. Like the mic itself has like a denoise function.
Yeah.
So like the traffic, it like
But
always.
on like Premiere too, there's like a denoise
Oh
thing
yeah.
that you can apply over it. But
Yeah.
I got-
Usually I can get like the focus audio, but it's like
Yeah.
it also makes it a little like clippy.
yeah,
But
I got beat up a lot, or beaten.
oh okay, I was about to say like, because beat up sounds like other kids.
No. I mean, I got bullied, but like I was too big. It's because I was in like the special ed.
Yeah, they put
Classes.
me in special ed too.
Yeah, I was in with like, with, I think people associated me with that. Not saying that I'm saying
Yeah.
anything about it, but the kids saw me walking in line with like kids in like wheelchairs and
Yeah,
stuff
yeah.
like in crutches and stuff like that. And
That's the thing about it is that if you're, because I was also a huge kid.
Oh, yeah.
If you're a big enough kid, they're like something's wrong.
I guess.
Which is weird that they're like, yeah, that kid's so big, we got to put him with the special ed people. He's clearly not capable of comprehending what I'm saying to him.
They're trying to hold us back from
Or-
reaching our power, our true power.
The other teachers are scared that I'm so big.
Yeah.
Because I was already the size of a teacher by like 3rd grade.
Yeah.
3rd grade, I was the size of a teacher, and then they're like, "Oh, we gotta get this kid." They thought I was like, basically, like other adults would see me and be like, "That's a middle schooler." At 9 years old, they thought that I was
Yeah.
like already in like 6th or 7th grade.
Yeah, I saw the last time I went to my pediatrician
Yeah,
a couple weeks ago. No.
about that.
But on my growth chart, I saw when I was 12, I was like 240 pounds, and I was like 5'10" or something.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
Jesus! Yeah, you were huge in
I-
every direction.
Yeah, they thought I was gonna be like 6'10" or like 7 feet tall or something.
Yeah.
And I thought that was awesome. I thought that would be the coolest thing ever if I was like massive. And I'm like, now that I'm an actual adult, I'm like, thank God I'm not
Yeah.
7 feet tall. That would be insane.
Yeah, although we did the math on it. If you're 7 feet tall, there's like a 17% chance that you go to the NBA.
17% seems really low.
Well, you got to think about it. It's like there's like think about the percentage of people who are 6'5" who go to the NBA. It's like less than 1%.
Really?
Yeah, it's so crazy to be an NBA player. Like, it's so astronomically crazy to try to be an NBA player that 17% is like insanely good odds.
Yeah.
It's literally like I think one in whatever it is, but there's only so few 7 foot tall people,
1 in 1,000 7 foot tall people
basically,
or
that
whatever or something.
it's like if you're 7 feet tall, it's so likely for you to go, as long as you don't have a heart problem, you could probably get in the NBA. I'm only 6'5", so there's
Only. I bet a
yeah.
lot of people would
Well,
are
they haven't
pretty
lived as a
pretty
6'5"
jealous.
man. They don't know the pain and struggle that I deal with. All right. They say everybody, you always hear more money, more problems. That's not true. More height, more pain.
That
Yeah,
is true.
that is true. Also, we die younger.
Oh, I know. But
Yeah.
you know what? I saw a guy the other day who was pretty close to 7 foot tall, and he was super old, so it gave me some hope.
Whoa.
And he was drinking
Look at the
heavy.
street.
That's awesome.
Yeah. There's
I'm
a,
talking about being tall, and
yeah. There was a little person on the street just walking by.
I go tell them how much it sucks to be 6'5".
Yeah. Okay. You don't know my pain, little one. Come, sit in my circle while I read you Cat in the Hat.
Did you get bullied when you were a little one?
A little bit. More than anything, I just did, people would make fun of me, but they didn't like. They would. Yes, they would bully me, but it wasn't like always like, oh, let's go make fun of Jacob today. It was just like if I was around, they would just be like, hey, here's a mean thing I'm gonna say to you now, and then I'd be like, okay.
Yeah.
And then they would say it, and then they kind of just like go about their day. So it wasn't
Yeah.
like they were going out of their way to bully me. It was more of like I happened to enter, and then they would bully me, and then they
Yeah.
would be mean to me.
I
It's
I sorry I got bullied so not so bad, but like whatever, like you know, like when your parents come to lunch with you
Yeah.
at school, they would bully my dad
whoa.
when he was eating lunch with me.
Wow. What would they say? What were they making fun of?
Me?
Through your dad?
No, they were just telling him how much how much I sucked.
Wow.
Yeah.
Where did you go to school?
Lake Windward Elementary School,
In Georgia, right?
Mhm.
Where is that?
Alpharetta.
Alpharetta. Dang. And then
The heroin triangle.
really?
Yep.
Okay. So then, was your dad like a? Because your dad is like a small guy as well.
Yeah, he's like 5'6",
Okay.
fat.
Fat. Okay.
Yeah, super hairy.
Did the kids ever call him fat?
Probably, honestly, probably.
And then, dude, to tell what did he think as the kids were telling him like, hey, your son sucks. We don't like him. He's like whatever. What did your dad do or say or anything like that?
He was just like, man, those kids are mean. He didn't do anything. I think he told me a story about like when he was in high school and he beat the shit out of a kid that was mean to him, and he told me to do that.
Okay. Although if you raged out on a kid being how big you were, they'd be like, he's gone berserk, and then like
Maybe,
they would
but
pull out tranquilizer darts to take you down.
I'm a very gentle.
Well, that's what I'm saying is that when you being gentle, if you finally were like, I'm taking it to him, and then
I don't think I could though. I physically couldn't.
Yeah, my mom would always tell me to get mad when I played football. She'd be like, "Get mad, you got to
yeah.
get mad," and I couldn't do it. And then she'd be like, "Just imagine they're like one of your bullies at school," and I was like, I couldn't do it. And now that I'm an adult man, I think about the frustration that my mom made me feel as a child growing up and demeaning me, and I'm like, oh, if I played football and just projected that anger towards my mother onto these people, I literally am. What is his name? From Water. I'm the water boy, basically. Of just like, yeah, and then no, and then just sack a guy or whatever. But yeah, when I got angry in football, I was crushing. But It hardly ever happened because I was so docile.
Awful at football.
Yeah, 99% of the time I was terrible at football, but if I got angry, I was really, really good.
I never really got angry. I just hated it. I hated playing football so much.
Yeah.
I was just like, I would be literally on the field mid-play being like, thinking about like the Xbox game I was going to play.
Yeah, of course.
When I got home, and then the whistle would blow and I would just get my shit rocked. And I would just be like, oh my God, that hurts so bad. And then, I mean, I think I like ruined some games. I mean, from the penalty, from jumping off sides, and like they wouldn't let me play special teams because I didn't understand.
Really? You were in special ed?
Yeah, I should have just been on special teams.
You should have been the special team.
I should have been the water boy. That would have been a better use. But I didn't understand like when or why we were kicking or receiving the ball. Mm-hmm. And I didn't understand which side I was on. So when someone would get a touchdown and I was supposed to run out there to like be on the, on the line or whatever to defend the field goal, I just like didn't understand why it was happening. So I just wouldn't go. And then we would get, you have... Sometimes I would go and I wasn't supposed to, and then we'd have too many people. Sometimes I wouldn't go when I was supposed to, we wouldn't have enough. I mean, I was literally sacking our own quarterback sometimes. I didn't understand the plays at all.
The parents in the bleachers must have been, the parents on the other team must have been losing their minds laughing. The parents on your team must have been so pissed.
Oh, yeah. 100%. I literally like would do the wrong play, and so like I would be like doing some maneuver, and the quarterback would be there, and I would just deck our own quarterback.
And how old are you at this time? This is a kid, right?
This was when I was one of the team captains as a senior.
In high school?
Yes.
That's so funny.
I was that bad.
Why were you the team captain?
Because I was like really athletic and I was the biggest kid on the team like senior year.
Okay, yeah.
So before the season started, before practice started, they picked the team captains during like the summer training, and they picked me, and I did not.
Did you play at any? Did you only play your senior year?
No, I played the rest of the time.
Okay, but so they knew how bad you were. They just still chose you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, every time we would watch film, I just slept the whole time and got screamed at, and
so sick.
Yeah. Fun stuff,
dude. So all right, let's get back a little bit to the family stuff. So, what can you describe like your dad and your mom as well? Like,
my mom's a very sweet lady.
Okay.
Now, and
nice.
my dad is very nice, but he's just like a party. He just wants to party.
Yeah, you were saying earlier that he like hangs out with his best friends all the time.
Yeah, he like he's just like has like a neighborhood crew, and they just like drive tractors and golf carts around the neighborhood. Like he bought a new dune buggy. And we were there for Father's Day, and he wanted to take my sister was pregnant, and he was like, come take a ride in the dune buggy. And he took her to a construction site where they were building a new school across the street, and it just rained, so it was like super muddy, and my pregnant sister was like terrified in the passenger seat of this dune buggy.
That he's just gonna flip it or whatever.
Yeah, because he's like going crazy in this dune buggy in the construction site, and he comes back, and my sister was like, we really were not supposed to. They did not want us there. They were trying to build a school. Like, we were not supposed to be there. It was an active construction zone.
Oh, they were building while they were there.
Yeah.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, and then that's what my sister said, and then my dad was like, your sister's just so unreasonable sometimes. I just wanted to show her the dune buggy. She just doesn't want to have fun anymore, or something like that. And I was like, she's like 6 months pregnant.
His attitude is like, why is this happening to me?
Yeah, pretty much. He'll call me like every like few months, and I'll be like, what's up? And he's like, I don't know. And I'm like, what are you calling about? And he's like, I don't know. And he's like, oh, yeah. He goes, so me and the boys were at this Nickelback Jelly Roll concert. We're getting pretty heavy into the acid. He goes, anyway, the craziest shit, a fist fight breaks out in the parking lot. Some of the boys jump in. Cops are breaking it up with tasers. And I was like, did you jump in there? He goes, hell no. I had a beer in my hand. He goes, I'm not messing with that stuff or something. He's like, people are getting tased on acid at the Nickelback Jelly Roll concert? And then he's like, the cops are always in the neighborhood for some reason. Somebody's got a gun drawn on somebody, I guess. I don't really know what's happening there.
I like how you're just having him combine vague threads in his mind in front of you.
And I go, goddamn, this neighborhood's crazy. And he goes, no, that doesn't happen all the time. That was just this weekend. And then like 3 weeks later, it'll be like, oh, it was this. Here's one I don't understand. Maybe you can break this down for me.
Okay.
They go, we got this new neighbor. We're trying to invite him to the parties, like try to get to know him. He starts talking about this like weird stuff. And I was like, what kind of stuff? And he's like, kind of stuff we don't really like to talk about around here, you know, like how they don't teach kids cursive in school anymore. He's walking around telling everybody how they don't teach kids cursive in school anymore. And, you know, Joe, whoever, I don't know their names.
Yeah.
He goes up to him and he's getting aggressive. He's like, listen, buddy, we don't talk about stuff like that around here.
Okay.
And he's like, anyway, Joe followed him home with a gun, and turns out this guy has a gun, so it turns out he's pretty cool after all, or whatever. And he's like a bit of a Mexican standoff. Anyway, the cops broke it up. It's all good now. But what's they don't teach kids cursive in school? What's the problem?
Yeah. Here's the thing is that I don't think that the problem is that he's talking about cursive. I think is that like they don't want to think about like degradation of the world or anything like that, or even then like they just don't want to think about other people. They're like,
they don't want to think about the degradation of the world. They're not. They don't care.
Well, that's what I'm saying is that this guy is bringing it up like, hey, they're not teaching kids this thing anymore. If you start allowing that type of conversation, eventually it'll turn into, hey, you know, they're not letting like other people do this thing either. And you know what I mean? Like in his mind, I think he's like, it's a slippery slope if we just start talking about education. And that's what I think. I don't know your dad, so I don't know. But it's like, I don't know why he's so upset about this guy just bringing up that they're not teaching kids cursive in school. If anything, that's usually like an older person gripe, being like, they're not raising kids the way I was raised anymore.
Yeah.
And so I don't know why your dad's being mad about that, because your dad's like, oh, he's got a gun. He seems actually pretty cool. And then like, oh yeah, the cops were called. It's all cool now, but we just want to drink and we just want to hang. Like he's clearly like a party guy.
Yeah.
Doesn't really want to think. But then this other guy's being like, hey, you notice they're not raising kids the way we were raised, and he's getting mad about that.
I don't understand it, but I tell you, I really don't understand the reason. But I tell you what they do care about. What I've heard them talk about a lot is who would win in a fist fight between Joe Biden and Donald Trump. Like,
do they take bets? That's awesome.
They might. But they have like genuine, like if you were 12 and you were talking about like who would win in a fight, Hulk or Goku? Like it's like,
oh,
like yeah, and you're like, no, Goku would totally, like they talk about Donald Trump and Joe Biden fist fighting like that.
They're like, no, Trump would pull out his like secret move and then like punch him. Who's arguing for Joe Biden in their group?
Literally nobody.
Okay.
Literally, it's all Joe Trump would beat his ass. Like there's no, what's even the question? Like,
it's reaffirming what you already think. Why even ask?
Yeah, but like, if I was like, actually Joe Biden's, he's got a pretty good stance. Like, what do you even say? But like, also, are they gonna be like, that's a good point, actually? Like,
You should join in and be like, "Hey, I actually heard Joe Biden has actually like a really good center of balance. I know the bike thing famously happened, but like he's trained up since."
He's been training. They will believe anything. I tell you, I sometimes I do try to like talk to them about actual issues, and that's when the Candy Crush comes out.
Really, they just go on their phone.
Yeah, and then they start going, "Oh wow, okay, interesting."
Dude,
Okay.
it's like that sketch. It's literally a Tim Robinson sketch. The one where he's like, if you start talking about stuff I don't like, I'm gonna go on my phone. That's a Tim Robinson sketch. That's crazy that they're living that. And if you showed them that sketch, they'd be like, I don't get it. Like, I know for a fact if you showed it to them, they'd be like, I don't get what this is about. I don't get it. He's being weird. And then you'd be like, so he's going over how, like, when you are confronted with things you don't like, and they go, oh, wow.
It's it's weird because his parents are like super liberals. Like they have a China set that's the Obama family.
Your grandparents?
Yeah, other not the fentanyl side.
Yeah. Your dad's grandparents?
My dad's parents.
It's weird when people are raised by liberal parents and then they go conservative and that's their rebellion is like,
They're liberal atheists.
and your dad's Republican Christian?
I don't think he really cares about
Religion? Okay.
No.
Yeah, it just, to me, I've always thought about it. I'm like, I get it if somebody is raised by Republican parents and they're like, I'm going to go liberal, that's my rebellion against you, like, this is what I think. I'm going to go whatever. Like, I get it. You're like, yeah, you're always about rules. You're always trying to, like, push people away. I'm going to go and I'm going to be the center of, like, liberal. And then it's weird to me when someone is raised by liberal parents and goes conservative to be like, yeah, you guys didn't give me enough rules and structure. It's like, what are you talking about, man? You guys gave me too much freedom. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, they have a china cabinet, a little china cabinet with a Obama family china set next to an Elvis Presley shrine in their home theater.
Okay, so they're centrist. All right. I don't know why, but the Elvis Presley thing, so that's interesting that they have the Obamas and they're like, I like that. And then they have Elvis where he stole music for black people and they're like, I like that. So they're like, hey, I just like whatever's coming down the pipeline.
I mean, Elvis was, at that time he was
A hip young guy. He was sexy. He was very sexy.
sure.
Dude. So then what was your mom? Was your mom like an addict or anything like that? Because I know she comes from the addict side of
No,
the family.
she's like moved away completely from. She's like the only one that doesn't live in like middle of nowhere town.
Yeah. You said your cousin OD'd on fentanyl as well, right?
Third cousin, something like that.
Okay. Yeah, and
Yeah.
then
I mean, a lot of them.
really,
It's yeah, it's like I mean, they're out in like trailer park country. I mean, like you go to the vape stores out there. There's a 22-year-old with no teeth selling you a vape.
yeah, and she looks 48. Yeah.
Not even. It's clearly a 20-year-old.
Oh, really?
They just have like 2 black teeth in their head.
Oh, I was just because I know drugs age you like crazy as well. Because
I don't know. Something's preserving the people out there.
really,
Yeah, good genes.
yeah, I mean the fact that she's done enough drugs to still have 2 teeth, you know?
Well, it was a guy, so
Oh, okay, sorry. That's
it was a guy with 2 black teeth in his head from something.
yeah. My family was never like pills or anything like that. Honestly, everybody in my family, because I was only raised on my mom's side, I never met my dad's side. Everybody in my family is just kind of an asshole,
Oh,
just kind of
That's good.
unlikable. The other day, my girlfriend was like, "Your whole vibe is like, just yuck my yum," and I was like, "First off, don't ever say that to me again. That's disgusting." And then I was like, I was like, also, yeah, I was raised by people who, anytime you did something, they go, why are you doing that? And so that's how I was raised. So now when people do things, I literally took shrooms a month ago, and I said to her, she's sober at the time, and I said, I feel like I'm meeting God and I'm asking him to back up because he's being a lot right now. Like, that's my whole vibe.
You said that?
I said that while tripping on shrooms, while losing my mind, just fully out of my mind on shrooms. I said, God's being a lot and I need him to back up.
Did they like kind of like reject anything that you like wanted to do, or like things you're passionate about? They're just like, what the fuck are you doing?
Not necessarily, because, well, so yes and no. I would never say what I actually wanted because I didn't want it to get rejected. So I would just say the things that were more acceptable. So growing up, I wanted to be a comedian, but then I knew that would get rejected. So I was like, well, I'll just say I want to be a lawyer. And so growing up, I was like, yeah, I just want to be a lawyer.
And they accepted the lawyer.
They accepted the lawyer. They were like, oh yeah, Jacob will be a lawyer. You know, and so, but it was like, oh, I just want to hear myself talk, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, I just wanted to play Yu-Gi-Oh! And
Hell
like watch
yeah.
cartoons. Like that's what I wanted to do. And then my aunt actually, so everybody was always judgmental towards everybody else. Everybody was always talking behind each other's backs.
That's like a Southern family. I feel like that's just a family thing.
We're Midwest.
Oh.
No, Midwest, we're nice to your face, but we talk about you behind the back. And so
that's what my family does, and they're from the South.
Yeah, there's a lot of similarity too. I think the main thing is just that the only real difference is that the South says Coke while the North says pop for like sodas.
Yeah.
So my aunt, she had a bunch of video games. She had a PS2 in her room. Both my aunt and my uncle lived in my grandpa's house when I was growing up, and or two of my aunts, one of my uncles, they all lived in the house. And then one of my aunts, Aunt George, she had a PlayStation 2, and she had a bunch of video games and stuff like that. She had a Yu-Gi-Oh video game. It's pretty tight, honestly. She's probably like mid-20s. And the thing is that when she was away, everybody would be like, what a fucking loser. But then when she was there, they'd be like, hey, George, which is a normal person thing to do, you know, is to be nice to them to their face, at least. That's normal. But then when she would be gone, they would just like dog on her the whole time, be like, she's single, she's not going to college, she's playing just video games.
Your 12-year-old aunt?
No, I was 12 when this was. Yeah. Or like even then, I was 7. She was like 20 something. I might have misspoke. She was like 20s, mid-20s or whatever. And she was like not in college, single, been single forever. And then she had video games in her room, and I would just play those all the time. And I'd be like, Aunt George is the coolest of all time. And then, but also my Aunt George would be like, climate change isn't real while I'm like playing a video game. She'd be like, oh, this reminds me, like climate change isn't real. Did you know that? I'd be like, and I'd be
the cool aunt?
Yeah, the cool aunt. Yeah. And then,
did it kind of convince you? Because you were like, she's so cool. She's got to be right.
She has a Yu-Gi-Oh video game. She has
to know something.
Yeah. And then, my mom also didn't believe in climate change and did not like any of her sisters, my aunts. So she'd be like, Aunt George is a fucking idiot. But climate change is a hoax, though. Yeah, did you have like a favorite family member or relative growing up?
I like my cousins that were like similar age to me.
Cool.
Some of my aunts and uncles.
Nice. What was it the uncle who was like, you know,
Threw my
canoodling?
sister in the fire?
Yeah.
No. Other uncle would also play. Did your family play pranks on you?
Yeah.
Yeah, like you go to sit down in a chair and your 45-year-old uncle kicks it out from under you, and then you fall onto a bunch of rocks and hit your head on a campsite.
Dude, actually, yeah, exactly that. No,
Yeah.
it wasn't like that, but that is really funny though. Like that is a really funny prank. Did everyone laugh?
I don't know. I think I hit my head really hard, and I don't remember.
You wake up that night going, huh? Just
We were camping one time, and one of my cousins, we were like hanging out while they were all setting up, and he just like wandered off into the woods, and we just hear like an explosion, and there's like 30 feet of water shooting up, and he had wandered off into the woods and picked up a rock and smashed the pipe to the water line to the entire campground. And he came running out of the woods, and he was like, "Whoa, what is that? That's so crazy. What's happening?" And then then like 10 minutes later, he was like, "Yeah, I saw the water pipe. I picked up a rock and I just smashed it." And we were like, "Why?" And he was like, "I just wanted to see what would happen." The campground had no water for the.
that's so funny. Dude, your whole family is a Tim Robinson sketch for real. Just who could have done such a thing? It's a hot dog car and a guy just as a hot dog. It could have been anybody. It's so funny, dude. That's so funny. Did he get in trouble for that?
Some kind of trouble. I mean, he was a little kid, so.
Well, I'm saying, like, did your uncle have to like pay the campsite or some type of thing for damages?
I don't think they figured out who it was.
That's awesome.
We didn't snitch.
Of course not. How long between the like going and discovering it and your cousin telling you? Like, were you guys standing there looking at it and he's like, "I did that," or was it like a while later?
I've talked to him about it several times.
Yeah.
I think maybe at the time he was denying it. Oh, yeah. At the time he literally was like, "It's so crazy that happened." Like he was holding on to that, and then like we were drinking, and I asked him, I was like, "You remember when that happened?" And he was like, "Oh yeah, I saw the pipe and I just picked up a rock and smashed it." And I was like, "Why?" And he literally, as a 25-year-old, was like, "I just wanted to see what would happen." He did a lot of stuff like that where we were like, "Why the fuck did you do that?" And he would be like, "I just kind of wanted to see like he would just like he found like a bunch of jars and just like smashed them, and his hands were like a viscera. We were camping again, and he found a bunch of jars and he just smashed them on the ground, and he came walking up and his hands were covered in blood and he had like gashes in his hands. And he was like, "This hurts really bad." And we were like, "What happened?" And he was like, "Found a couple jars and smashed them on rocks."
I like the idea. You hear a smash. He runs over, bloody hands, and goes, "Whoa! What happened?
Who did that?
Who smashed the jars?" There's glass shards in his hand.
He literally had giant shards of glass in his hands.
Oh, that's so funny, dude. That's so funny, dude. No, my family was never doing silly stuff like that. I mean, I've heard stories of the things my mom and her siblings would do growing up. Like at one point, classic stuff of like my mom was hitting a tennis ball with a racket against the wall of their house growing up, and then she at one point hit it high and it fully smashed a window. And then she like basically it was like a second story window that got smashed. So she ran to the bottom of the like first floor and stood against the wall, and my uncle, her closest little brother, Uncle Steve, she tossed him the racket and she goes, "Catch!" And then he just like catches it. And then my grandma, their mom, walks over to the window and goes, "Stephen Braley." And then he goes, "No!" And then like that's the things my mom would do. And she would tell that story all the time and be like, "That's one of my favorite memories." Like my mom loves doing stuff like that. But
Accusing the innocent?
Yes, fully. Yeah, she loves getting away with shit. And I also love getting away with stuff. So my mom loves to cause chaos and then like get people and like not getting in any trouble. She loves it. And then there's another story where my uncle, the oldest, Uncle Matt, he was driving and he like, I don't know, ran a stop sign or was speeding or something like that. And my mom is in the car. She's the one telling me this. And that as she's told me, he's the golden child. So one, can't get in any trouble, but also he cannot get in any trouble. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
parents never fault him, but also he has to always be the example. And so at one point, he runs something or whatever. The cops go to pull him over, like give him a ticket, and he's 17 or something like that at this time. So he just floors it. He just runs from the cops.
Oh my God.
And it's their local area. He starts zipping through streets and whatnot. And I think this is Cincinnati because I think they all grew up in Cincinnati. So he starts like zipping through like roads and down stuff and all that. And then at one point comes around this long bend and then turns in immediately to this like house or whatever. Like there's a turn and then he turns into this like road and immediately just hooks around to the front of it into this like very close houses driveway, turns off all the lights, turns the car off, and then the cop just like goes speeding by. And then he waits.
Oh, sick.
He waits probably like 15, 20 minutes to make sure the cop doesn't come back, and then drives home, no problem.
Never gotten any trouble for it?
Never gotten any trouble for it.
Damn.
Also turned to my sister and was like, one, you can't tell anybody. Two, if you tell anybody, there's no proof, so nobody will believe you.
Now everybody knows.
Yeah, but that's also like 40 years ago.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I've been pulled over a million times, and I'm always like, I would love to run right now.
Yeah.
But I can't. I did something similar. I started getting pulled over, and I just pulled into a random neighborhood.
Oh.
And they followed me into the neighborhood, and I was like, fuck. And I just started doing lap. They didn't have their siren on, but they got behind me and just started following me for a while. So I just pulled into a random neighborhood and just started doing laps around this neighborhood. And then they eventually just put the lights on and pulled me over. And then like 5 cop cars pulled up. And the dude, I drove like a little Mustang at the time.
Okay.
And the cop walked up and he was eye level with me. Like he was so short.
Wow.
And
tiny guy.
yeah.
Don't give him a tarp. He'll just
He'll fly away and break his hips. But he was like, I was driving home from work, and he was like, can you step out of the vehicle? I smell marijuana. And I did not have any marijuana on me. And I was like, why, yes, of course. And my car was like filled with trash. It was the back seat. Like the car was only a driver's seat, and the rest of the car was
trash.
Yeah, it was trash bags full of clothes and cases of beer, like just the empty packaging. It was just tons of empty beer packaging. And I got out and like looked back, and there was like 10 cops surrounding me, and they were all like way shorter than me. And they were like, we're going to search your car with a dog. And I was like, all right, cool. But it was filled with so much trash that they like gave up pretty quickly. But one of the cops was like, big guy, you play football? And I was like, yeah, I used to. And then I just like I was trying to be like friendly with them because I was like terrified.
Yeah.
And I just started like rambling about like football, and then none of them responded to anything. They just stood there, and I was just standing in a circle of cops being like, yeah, like, you know, one of those plays, and like, you know, senior year we only won a couple games. Freshman year we won state, like that was pretty cool, but that guy left because, you know, the taxes in Fulton County sucked. They were just tough. So we had a new rotation of coaches like I just was rambling, and they all just were like, okay, like they just did not give a shit. And then the guy came up and was like, oh, someone's probably smoking weed on their back patio or something. I don't know. You're good to go.
Why'd they even start following you in the first place?
I swear to God, he said you were driving so... He said something along the lines of, you were driving so safely, it was suspicious.
Whatever, dude.
So I don't know what the actual like reason was, because like I my tag was expired too, and I'd been pulled over 7 times like in the last few months
Oh, okay.
for it. So I was on cruise control, the exact speed limit everywhere I went, even if it was like 35.
Yeah.
And because my tag was expired, and I just was stupid, and so
So let that be a lesson to you. Drive a little reckless. I think that's a good amount of time here that we got.
okay,
This has been a very fun time. I'll definitely have you on again as well.
okay.
To hear more amazing stories.
I've got so many more. I was about to say more, but
Oh no, please! If you have one more that you want to like say, please share. Please share.
did you ever do like jackass type stuff when you were a kid?
Not really, no.
So like I had a bunch of cousins the same age as me. I had a bunch of kids in the neighborhood that were like the same age as me, and we would just like hurt each other kind of in various ways. But there was a hill, and we would just like push each other down the hill in like a wagon, and like they would get to the bottom and like fly out into the river and stuff. And we had like an old timey like camcorder, and we like recorded it, but I never like watched it back. And my mom found it and gave it to me, and I watched it back, and whoever was filming was just zooming in on everyone's boners. Like, because we were like 13 or whatever, and like whoever had a boner, it was just a shot of a child's boner in his pants for the entire time. And I was like, and also I was like, I did not realize how many times this one kid was like flicking around another kid's boner. And also we were punching each other in the dicks constantly. It was just...
Maybe that's why they keep happening, is because it's just getting agitated, and then it's just like, yeah, it just hurts now.
It's inflamed and swollen. We were just punching each other in the crotches and pushing each other down hills. But so that's a little quick one. This one's super fast.
Yeah, you're good.
One of those kids, one of the kids that was getting a lot of the boners. He was at my house one time, and huge boner. No, I'm kidding. He was at my house one time, and my dad cut his finger in like the woodworking shop. And I think he like started crying or something. And my neighbor was like, my dad would never cry when he gets hurt. And I was like, there's no way. And he was like, no, he's like so tough, he can take anything. And so I was like, prove it. And we went over to his house, and his dad was like working on stuff in the garage, and we started grabbing like thorns off of like a bush, and like stabbing them into his arm. And we were like, does that hurt? And he was like, nah. And he just had like wounds on his arm that were like openly bleeding. And he was like, nah. He's like, look at all these tattoos. I don't feel pain like that. And we just started finding like stuff in the garage, and like, not that we like destroyed this man, but like,
yeah, you were just hurting.
We were just hurting him while he was just standing there working on stuff in the garage, and we would just walk up and stab him in the arm with something and go, does that hurt? And he's like, nah. And it's just bleeding out of his arm.
You take a box cutter, you just start slicing. Does that hurt? It just starts going out.
I don't remember to like what extent, but at a certain point he went, all right, that's enough.
Wow.
It's like, but he didn't cry.
All of a sudden you hear his son just turn on it's a table saw, and he goes, yeah, guys, I'm good. Did your dad like fully lose his finger?
No, he just like, we were always getting hurt. Like he cut it. He just like cut it open or something. I mean, he like crashed a bike one time and like split his head open on a rock, and his like brain was bleeding out of his eyeball for a while. And
every story is just someone being like, yeah, so he was just like standing outside, and then like a bull hit him.
I did this we went mountain biking a lot, and we crashed all the time. I was mountain biking for Boy Scouts, and I dive bombed a hill and just like fucking ate it. and I got a rock lodged in my forehead.
Oh my
and
God.
my forehead was just shooting blood so much that it was dripping down my eyes and I couldn't see. And the scoutmaster was a nurse, and she was like, "You're fine, you're fine." I was like, "All right, I'm fine, I'm fine." And then we were walking back up the trail, and the people walking down the trail were looking at me. I was like looking at their face and seeing them react to a child profusely bleeding, and they were going, "Oh my God, oh my God!" And I was like, "I'm gonna die." And then I just started freaking out and crying. But yeah, a lot of bloody mountain biking accidents.
It's just so funny that like you and your family are getting eviscerated. One, that shows how strong your genetics are, that you guys are just tanking these hits. Imagine how strong your neighbor's dad's genetics are. And then as well as that, like, I now understand why they're putting you in special ed, because they're like, I think he's just a brick. Like, I think it's not, we're not putting you in special, this is actually for mutants. You were a mutant.
That guy's dad, the big tough dad.
Yeah.
Him and my dad both like 5'5", 5'6", like 320 pounds.
Is that one of the guys that your dad is now like drinking with, or
no?
Okay.
No, big gun collection. Went into the basement one time. Had a big, I don't know if it was his, but there was a folder full of porn, like printed out, like on 8x5 like legal paper. And we found it, and I was like, "We're not supposed to be looking at this." So we took it to the backyard and threw it into the swamp in the backyard. I like threw it over the fence and just watched all the like porn printouts like flying in the air.
You see a raccoon come up and take one.
Raccoon's jacking off to, but I don't know whose that was, but somebody's missing a porn
I imagine
collection.
it's his dad's or whatever.
Might have been his brother.
Yeah, maybe. Legal paper printout of porn is so funny.
In like a middle school like purple manila folder.
Oh yeah, an accordion folder. Yeah. One of those folders.
Not even that, like an
ones?
agenda folder.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's so funny. To throw it in the swamp is so funny. Me and my cousin at one point, growing up, we were probably like 9 or so. We both just found like a porn site, and we started watching porn together, but not like on the computer in like their like room or something like that. No, I had just been given the first iPhone.
Oh God.
And I looked, and we were watching it on my iPhone, and this is like 2006 or something like that or whatever. And we built a pillow fort in the living room, and that's where we were watching it. Volume on.
On an iPhone?
iPhone, volume on, watching porn in a pillow fort. So best of both worlds, honestly. And then at one point my sister walks in and goes, "What are you guys watching right now?" And I went, "Nothing." And then yes, we were just watching it together because we were like, and then later on he was like, we were in the living room, we had to put the cushions back because we weren't allowed to have a pillow fort anymore.
Yeah, that was the problem.
They were like, "This pillow fort's making them go crazy." And then my cousin was like, "What would you do if like that girl was here right now?" And I'd be like, I'd probably touch her boobs." And then he was like, I'd probably hump her, and I'd be like, "Whoa!" I remember I went, "Whoa!" And then he goes like, I think I was like a good interviewer where I went like, "How would you hump her?" And then he grabbed one of the couch cushions and starts humping it, and then I was like, "Dang, that's pretty good." He shows me, and I'm like, "I'd probably hump her like this." And then I like grab another couch cushion, and then we're humping the couch cushions at each other in a way, being like, "No, you can't hump like that. You gotta hump like this."
Oh my God.
Yeah, we're both like 9. I like to imagine his dad, my uncle, walks in. The same uncle who drove the car, walks in and goes, "That's pretty good technique, honestly."
Giving advice.
Yeah. "No, guys, you want to do it like this, actually." Then we all built a pillow fort, started watching on my phone together again. His uncle, or my uncle included. But yeah, I do think we're at about an hour now, so I'm going to edit
Okay.
down. And I think this also gives us, I think it's about,
Can I cap it with
yeah.
a closing thought?
Yeah, what you got?
My first smartphone, I had it for I think a week or two, and my dad called me, and I thought it would be funny to answer the phone by farting into the phone. And when I put it down, I farted like really bad into the phone, and then I dropped it on the floor, and it exploded and destroyed the phone. And so I didn't have a smartphone again for a while. It was like the first like Galaxy, and they spent like a bunch of money on it, and I had it for I think 2 weeks.
To your dad's perspective, you answer the phone, he hears a fart, and then you just hang up.
I mean, he would have heard the phone dropping to the floor, like crashing to the floor, and then exploding.
I know, but to him, he's just like, what was, did he just fart at me and hang up? And then he tries to call you back, and he goes, this phone is no longer active. And he goes, what happened?
It shattered. It literally, like the screen and back, like exploded off of it, and the pieces like fell out of it.
I thought you were gonna say for a second that it was like I farted into the phone, and then he said, your mom's in the hospital. Oh, that's so funny. That's one of the funniest stories I've ever heard in my life. That and the water shooting thing have made me truly enjoy life a little bit more. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you made it this far, thank you. Please come back again. Perry Benton, do you have anything coming up you want to shout out?
No.
We got some animations coming out. Those will be pretty good. Keep an eye out on those. Otherwise, have a good day.